The Star People, ancients named Ant People, saved Native Americans from world apocalypse twice. The Hopi Indians are a Native American tribe that has been living in Arizona for thousands of years. The place is famous for the Grand Canyon, a beautiful desert area. According to the Hopi legends, the gods directed them there to build stone apartment complexes. From the ancient Hopi, there are several stone complexes, the so-called Pueblo. Near their houses, the Hopi grew corn, beans, and pumpkins on the dry, rocky ground, and the Hopi language is similar to the Aztec language. Among the researchers of anomalous phenomena, the Hopi are known primarily for their stone tablets, which supposedly contain depictions of the future. However, there are many interesting things in the Hopi culture besides these tablets. The most important interpretation of the word Hopi is that it's one who behaves appropriately, one who is mannered, civilized, peaceful, and polite, and who conforms to the Hopi way. This is in contrast to other warring tribes that live off pillage, and according to some reports, according to the Hopi folklore, the Spider Woman, quote unquote, bestowed the three sisters with gifts and instructed them in farming techniques. In addition to that, she instructed them in weaving and pottery making, and according to the Hopi legends, we have only recently entered over into the fifth world. It was she who was responsible for bringing those who were bad into the third world, into the fourth world. In exchange for being allowed to reside there, the Hopi decided to take on the role of caretaker. The Hopi way emphasizes harmony in all aspects of life and preserving a balance between humans and the natural world. Their ritualized celebrations of this equilibrium serve to ensure that their way of life will continue into the future. And according to the Hopi mythology, their legends, the earth was created by Spider Woman, who ruled the underworld, and her consort Tawa, who was the sun god and ruled the sky. And together they utilized their thoughts to bring the world into being. Then Spider Woman brought the clay creatures and humans to life by giving them the form of humans and animals, covering them with a blanket that she had woven herself, and singing to them with Tawa. One of the most intriguing Hopi legends is about the Ant People, who saved the Hopi people twice during a fire, volcanic eruptions, asteroid strike, ice age, or a strong coronal ejection from the sun. During these two devastating events, the Ant People civilization hid the Hopi people in their underground caves and provided them with food and water. These legends portray the Ant People as generous and hardworking, who also taught the Hopi the secrets of storing food for a long time without spoiling. An ancient petroglyph. There are ancient petroglyphs over the world, and on these petroglyphs, in particular the one from North Africa, one can often find images of unusual
The daily
creatures
posts are
with
5
antennae
videos daily,
or
and they are
horns
totally
on their
different
heads.
from what I have on
Many
my
people
YouTube
believe
channel.
that the creatures in the image
Thank
are
you so much for your
shamans,
support,
but could
and
they
that
be
you
images
find
of
all my content
insect-like
so interesting.
people?
You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.
The ant people and ordinary ants, insects, have some kind of connection with the constellation Orion. This constellation is mostly clearly visible in winter when ants are hibernating, and in February when it's the brightest in the sky. The Hopi perform a sacred dance ceremony called Powamu in the ceremonial dwelling of the Kiva. The ceremony is dedicated to the god named Anu Sinon. That's what they used to call the sky gods, the gods from the stars. They called Anu. It sounds like Anunnaki, doesn't it? The ceremony dedicated to god named Anu Sinom, who long ago taught the Hopi how to grow beans and saved them from hunger. At the same time, there is an interesting coincidence with the fact that there is a Babylonian god with the same name, Anu, and that the ant in the Hopi language is also Anu. And the phrase Anunnaki, which is translated from the Hopi language as ant's friend, is surprisingly similar to the Sumerian word Anunnaki, which means created creatures that came to earth from heaven. Ant people were probably known in ancient Egypt as well. In any case, some researchers of anomalous phenomena believe that the unusually narrow and elongated head of Pharaoh Akhenaten, the father of Tutankhamun, and I recently uploaded a video on his DNA. Tutankhamun's DNA is more intense than human Homo sapien DNA, and his bone is more intense than more dense than human DNA. So the unusually narrow, elongated head of Pharaoh Akhenaten, whose shape is strange even for ancient Egypt, is similar to the head of an ant, and his skinny arms and large thighs still puzzle many scientists. Some people think that Akhenaten was a hermaphrodite, while others believe that he was an alien. But maybe he was a representative of the ant people, the extraterrestrials. And one more fact, which may be a coincidence or perhaps an ancient connection. The Egyptian word Sahu means Orion stars, and in the Hopi language the same word Sahu also means star. And the most important star for the Hopi was the star of the constellation Orion. For some researchers, the national female hairstyle of the Hopi Indians is also a connection with the ant people, as it may resemble the antenna of ants. The Hopi have traditionally held the belief that their homeland is holy ground, and they perceive themselves as the custodians of the land that they have inherited from their ancestors. They had no concept of lands having boundaries or being divided into sections. Northern Arizona's mesa tops have been the location of many settlements because agriculture is such an important industry there. The Hopi people originally established their communities around the base of the mesas, but throughout the 17th century, they relocated to the summits of the mesas in order to be safer from the Utes, Apaches, and the Spanish. This is on House and Wise by Vicky Verma. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support.